All right. We just finished up a 5-4 victory over Ferris State. So you guys can feel free to ask Coach any questions, and we will have a player on after Coach.
Coach, first question.
Yeah, just start one.
Okay, I can start. Coach,
Yep.
Your team started hot in the first period, went up a few goals, then you had to kind of, stave them off a little bit towards the end there. Just talk about your initial thoughts overall on this game.
You play, like I told the players, there's no moral victories when you lose. The same thing goes for a win. And, obviously, the penalties were something that's concerning for me, and it's an area that has to get adjusted. But at the end of the day, going into the game, if you would have said we were going to score 5, I'd have been happy with that. And if you look, across college hockey, the teams that have had COVID outbreaks and come back and played an opponent that had games under their belt, we're the first team to win that game. So obviously there were some challenges that we had to get through, but we'll get better. Obviously you're hoping to get better each period of that game. I don't necessarily know that was the case, but there's some good things. Some guys had some good games, and there were some guys who hadn't played in a year and a half or 2 years that got the game under their belt now.
Looking at the first period there, do you think you felt like you were at the midseason form as where they should be?
I think we were a little opportunistic on a couple plays off the rush. We made some good plays, no doubt. I would have liked to see some more offensive zone time. The biggest difference I thought was that in the first period we were playing as 5, and we had opportunities to get stops in the neutral zone or off the rush, and it kind of turned into offense for us. After that, I thought, for a long stretch of the game, we were kind of one and done, playing individual hockey a little bit, which is, not surprising coming off your first game in 200 and some days.
What about Connor in net? Getting the start there tonight. How do you think he looked?
Times I thought he looked really good. There's times that, we probably let him out to dry. There's a couple shots that were really good shots, a couple high blocker shots that were, nice goals. Their 5th goal and their first goal were really good shots. Goal 2 where they're coming down the middle. I thought he was screened on that. So, at the end of the game, he made a really important save to close the game out for us. So, for him, it's his first Division I game. I thought he did well.
Coach, after Ferris scored their first 2 goals, you called a timeout. You looked fairly animated. Can you share with us what you were trying to get across in the timeout?
Yeah, no, I was just telling the guys take a breath.
Okay.
Maybe my arms are moving a little bit too. Yeah. But, I was just saying, hey, take a breath. We were a little tight on the bench, and I wanted to make sure that we could, kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, and then, try to reset.
Cool.
What's going to be the key on Friday against Tech?
Well, I think number one, we got to play a better defensive brand of hockey in certain areas, because you don't get a lot of opportunities to score against them, and we're going to have to stay out of the penalty box for sure. You always got to manage your emotions in those games.
Thank you.
Is that it, or can we ask another question?
Oh, no, sorry. You guys can keep going. Someone
Okay.
was passing by.
Sure. Hey, Coach, how frustrating has it been to kind of be stopping and starting and finally getting a chance to play a game?
Well, I think number one, we're grateful to play, and that's got to be the outlook on it. Is it frustrating? To a certain degree, yes. You know, but that's kind of the nature of what sports is right now. And it's not just college hockey. It's, you know, you see NFL games. We can kind of control our, you know, our outlook and our attitude, and that's going to be really important, you know, going throughout this year, because there's going to be games that we, you know, we were the reason that we didn't have 6 of the games, and you know, there's always the danger that someone you're playing could be in the same scenario as that. So you got to control your attitude.
And Grant, what did you think of Noah Ganski tonight?
I thought at times Noah played very well. You know, I think he was a little, you know, at times I think he got a little nervous, and we had to calm him down on the bench. But Noah's going to be a really good player. You know, it's his first college game, and there's a couple things that I think maybe he wishes that he could have done, you know, maybe a little differently. And I just reminded him in the locker room just now that you can't think about the things that maybe you didn't do as well as you'd like, but focus on all the things you did well. So he's just going to keep getting better. Ryan, I can't hear you. You're muted. You know what? I don't know. I actually have to watch the video. My initial thought, Ryan, was that I wanted to play both goalies in these first 3 games. And then I thought, you know, it might, you know, if somebody plays well, I might go with them. So, you know, I probably would like to see Nolan in the net one of the nights for sure.
What'd you think of Colby Ents? He scored his first goal tonight. What'd you think of him being on the team tonight?
You know, it is nice to get that first one out of the way for sure. You know, and especially your first college goal. I thought Colby did a nice job. I mean, he's playing the offside, so you know some of that makes for tricky things in the offensive zone and off the rush because it's not your typical position. But you know, I thought he played well, and again, he played 1 college game before this at Omaha, so that was essentially his first college game too. So you know, a lot of guys getting that out of the way tonight.
Grant, you got 5 right-handed shooting defensemen, only 1 lefty. Is that posing any problems for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ben's played over there, so you know, Ben does a really nice job on the left side. But you know, I think when people think about defensemen playing their offside, they always think of the offensive part of the game. If the puck comes up the wall, you're going to be in your backhand. But it's a different position to take the rush from, also, and you know, being able to pivot a different way and neutral zone transition. So there's all sorts of areas that make it a little bit more challenging. You know, we got talented players, so you know there's going to be some guys that didn't play tonight that are going to get in at some point. But you know, we got to keep working with guys over there, and you know, hopefully mitigate some of those issues.
Adding Griffin Walker on Friday, what's he going to add to the team? I know last year he was a leading goal scorer. Where do you think he's going to fit in on the roster this year?
You know, I hope he comes right back in where he was, and he's going to play with Nardi and Vinny and one power play, and you know, hopefully he can jump right back into it.
Also, will Ryland Van Unen also be playing on Friday?
I don't know.
Coach, you had an awful lot of special teams action. You probably couldn't have practiced special teams any more than you were working today. What were your thoughts both on the PK and the power play?
To be honest, I thought the penalty kill, even though we gave up a you know, a 5-on-3 goal and kind of a shot off the flank, you know, I thought they did a pretty good job keeping people to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the power play had a look or two, scored a nice goal off the rush. But, you know, that usually takes a little more time, you know, just with the feel and you know, the fluidity of a power play. It usually is a little bit behind the penalty kill. So, you know, obviously you never want to be minus on that, on the special team. So that's something that we got to clean up. But for the most part, you know, I was pretty pleased with the penalty kill and, you know, hopefully the power play can grow on it.
Overall, are you satisfied, Grant, or do you still have kind of mixed feelings, you think, on the evening?
Probably the way the game, you know, if you think about, you the game. Winning the game is obviously a great feeling, and you feel good about that. Had you came from behind and won 5-4 and played the exact same way, you'd probably feel pretty good about it. The way it went for us, it's hard because during the game, it was really disjointed in the second and third period. There was a lot of stoppages. There's a lot of penalties. And I thought that hurt a little bit of the momentum of the game. So, typically I have a pretty good feel for how we played in the game. I don't feel like tonight, I really have the same thoughts on it. It's almost like I got to watch it again, and it'll give me a better idea of how the game really unfolded.
I'm in good shape. Cav, thanks very much for setting this up. Coach, we'll see you down the road.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. We will have Joe Nardi on following coach. So
you want me to go get Joe?
yeah, I'm going to shoot him a text also, but.
Okay. I don't know that he'll get that text. I'll go get him.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
All right. We have senior captain Joe Nardi on whenever you guys are ready.
Your thoughts on the game tonight?
Thought we came out pretty strong the first period, and then as the periods went on, kind of weren't playing the hockey that we're used to. That might just be because we're not used to being in the game, but we weren't as sharp in the D zone as we wanted to be, and those errors kind of led to some goals. But at the end of the day, you're just worrying about winning, and that's what we did tonight. So,
Joe, about the penalties, how do you feel? What do you think was the thing there?
I think it just goes back to last year as well. I think we took a lot of penalties, and that's something that we're trying to get out of our game. When you play good teams that have good sticks, and you're in the box as much as we are, you're going to score a lot of goals. So that's something that we have to touch up on, and it's the stick penalties that kind of bite us the most. So we can stay out of the box and be even strength. I think that'll give us the best success.
Was it nice? Go
ahead, Ryan.
I'll say, was it nice just to be on the ice again after this long layoff? Kind of a relief for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how grateful the guys are in our room. To be off for 3 weeks, not being able to touch the ice and be around each other was really hard on our group, but we stuck together and had a lot of Zoom calls and prepared for this moment today. So I think the hard work that we put in through those 3 weeks paid off, and that allowed us to get the win.
I guess that kind of leads into my question. For yourself, do you feel, with being in mid-December here, do you feel you're at where you should be, or are you kind of a little bit behind because of that 3 weeks?
You know what? I'd say honestly, when you get out there, you play the first period, your tempo starts to get into the game. But for us, we really didn't take a day off. We were doing Zoom workouts, and we were staying active. I know it doesn't replicate being on the ice, but we weren't just sitting at home twiddling our thumbs. So we were working out and staying active. Obviously, game shape is different, but at this point, you can't control what happens during the season, and we just caught an unlucky break. But to be out there again was awesome.
How was your fitness in the third period, Joe?
I didn't think it was too bad. I know, conditioning is a big part of our program, and our coaching staff makes sure that during practice we get our conditioning, is whether it's skating up and down the ice or conditioning after practice. We stay in shape, and we pride ourselves on that. So I think going into the stretch and being on a 1-goal lead, I think that's something that we pride ourselves on, and we're just glad that we got the job done.
Now, Joe, how does it feel to be captain for the team this year?
It's a huge honor. I can't explain how much it means to me, my family, just to be in a program like this and having the opportunity to be named captain from your peers, something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And I'm just so honored that I can represent this group, because we have a we have a great group this year, and I'm excited that we can start playing some games and see what we can do.
What coaching on the bench did you have to do as a captain with the new players, the freshmen?
You know what I've said from day one, our freshmen have impressed me. The minute they stepped on the ice, they're mature, they're older than usual, than our usual freshmen. And I just told them, like, listen, play your game, have fun out there. Obviously, these are weird times, so I didn't want to coach too much and kind of get in their own heads. I just wanted them to play. They're all great players. And you know what? They were vocal on the bench, and they were engaged right from the get-go. So when your bench is ready and everybody's engaged talking, it bleeds into the game, and that was something that really that I credit the team for.
Now you got Michigan Tech, Friday and Saturday. It's going to be different this year with, no crowd noise, but you think like the atmosphere is still going to be heated like it typically is?
Oh, 100%. Fans are not. This rivalry has been here for a long time, and it's going to be the same on Friday and Saturday. And we got some redemption, and we're ready to play them. And I think if we can play some good games heading into break, we'll feel good about ourselves.
With this being your last year here, is that something that you're really going to miss? Is that rivalry between Northern and Tech?
Yeah, it's the best. To be able to battle with those guys every year, and just some of the games that we've had against them, it's something that we take a lot of pride in, and we look forward to every year, marking our calendar playing them.
Any more questions?
I'm good.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe. Good game.
Thank you.